We need to stop this right
that
now.
Was enough.
Oh my God. I'm losing all credibility.
No. Do you know what? I don't remember it.
Driving license, pissing myself, can't send flyers to the house, and now trying to kill you with hypothermia.
Well, that's my memory of us.
Welcome to this very unique episode of Pints of View, where my darling daughter has decided to turn the tables on me and interview me. She can be quite mean, so she's looking very relaxed and very self-assured, because she's going to absolutely throw me under the proverbial bus. So without more to-do, Lula, take away the show.
That's a nice intro. You've taken away what I was going to say, though, about turning the tables. Don't know where to start now.
Well, go for it.
Okay. I'm just going to start with a lyrical introduction, as Gary's done with everybody else. Hopefully it grills everyone the way that he's been grilling all the other guests. To a man called Gary, the man of great fun, with antics and stories that are never done. To me, he is dad with a spirit so wild, a mischievous character, or a petulant child.
This is going to be so good. So good. She's my favourite host.
That's an honour, thank you.
One of two.
Gazlar's adventures are something to tell. From parties to travels, he always excels. His jokes and laughter infectious and grand, his riz is unbeaten, and his charisma is always on hand. He's very entertaining, a true party king. With a twinkling eye, he can make your heart sing. He boogies and swaggers with carefree delight. His moves on the dance floor are truly a sight. Life of the party, heart of the crew, stories, banter, and some business advice too. GG, my dad, brings the world glee, but to no one as special as he is to me.
Oh, that's... I'm not crying.
Thank you, Angel.
Yeah, just a few tears. Come on.
Yes, I do think you're Stephen Bartlett.
I'm not finished yet. Sorry.
Thank you.
There's one more bit.
Okay.
So here's to my dad, the one and only Gaz, a man of shocking tales and filled with pizzazz. Though sometimes a handful, he's loved through and through. And with intros now over, welcome to Pints of View.
Oh, shut up. She's absolutely put you to shame.
She's absolutely mad.
I can't believe it.
Thank you, darling. That was really, really nice. Thank you. You're clever. That's money well spent on education and you being brilliant. Apparently I have to always put that last bit in. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. Yeah,
well, you're very welcome. I'm glad that we could set this up. We're going to start with some tales of the unexpected, aren't we? Yeah. Ooh, I like the soundtracks. Okay.
What are we going to talk about?
Well, we could talk about your fantastic career in the staffing sector and about how you prepared for such a wonderful career. Or we could talk about your commitment to business culture and about how you want to make being good in the workplace cool. We could also talk about your fabricated CV and your near success as a tennis pro. But actually, first, I would like to talk about how you turned a serious fortune into a mild one.
Fucking hell.
That's where we should start, I think, today. Just taking it easy.
Okay. So where do you want me to start with that?
I guess it's kind of a bit like a game of how to lose £1 million the quickest, but I'm not sure. You can decide.
Season 2 has been hosted by her.
That's unbelievable, isn't it? Okay, so we could talk about hotels.
Yeah.
We could talk about restaurants. Mm-hmm. We could talk about wind farms.
Yeah.
I think it's really easy to sell to a salesperson. So there was a time and a place when everything was going so well at S3, I just literally thought my shit didn't stink, and everything I did was going to turn to gold because we were having that level of success. We started off having to apply for me to be able to do other things. So they allowed me to be a football agent for a bit.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
With Uncle John.
Oh, okay.
So I was the guy who basically threw up some money, and we did some great moves. We put Rob Lee into West Ham, and Neil Sillett basically managed it with Uncle John. And that was good, but I'll be honest with you, it's a very, very easy way to lose a lot of money very quickly, very few deals, and you're basically paying for salaries and people to go around. So that was the best of the bunch, because that was the only one where it washed his face before we closed that. Then there was a restaurant. I bought a small bar, and then I bought the restaurant next to it. I threw £1 million into a refurb. It was originally called Mas, which is Spanish for more.
Yeah.
It was down this alleyway in Maidenhead, so it's an ABC rated. It should be really good. We tried to compete with the Fat Duck and the Waterside Inn.
Okay.
We tried to make it Michelin star pretty much day one. On opening day, I got the date wrong, and I was surprised that nobody turned up because my attention to detail wasn't that brilliant. So we had to have a second launch date, at which point people did turn up. That was the only day people turned up.
Can I just ask a question? Sorry, I just want to check. Was this the restaurant that everybody at S3 was already drinking at?
Yeah.
Is that why you bought it?
I tried to monetize my mates who were drinking in the pub and then turn it into a cocktail bar because I'd make more money. We also had flarers, so the guys who were actually just making the cocktails. So the queue at the bar, it took about 5 minutes to do one drink. So the queue at the bar was 4 deep, so nobody wanted to come back. We did guinea fowl with chocolate sauce. Mate,
were you in charge of the menu as well?
I was in charge of nothing, and it was shit. And because people weren't finding it, we came up with a clever idea.
Right.
We changed the name of it to be called The Secret Kitchen.
Okay.
Because it was down this alleyway, so we kind of played on the fact it was difficult to find.
Okay, well, yeah, good play on words.
And still they didn't come.
Yeah,
so in the end, it cost me $6,000 a month to keep it closed, which was actually losing less money. So I paid a year just to keep it closed. So I learned a lesson there. I'm not really good at trying to make money in a restaurant game.
No.
Then we tried to invest in a hotel.
Okay.
So someone put me in touch with this idea. It's on Cambridge Circus, so right opposite now where Harry Potter is playing.
Oh, cool.
It's the Z Hotel now, so somebody actually managed to get it off the ground. We put a whole load of money into this, and I kept throwing good money after bad money, try to get this whole concept. I followed some investees in there, so they were some serious directors at Deutsche Bank, and we all had a meeting after I'm about £2 million down. Where we discovered that the guy who'd actually taken the property didn't actually own the freehold.
Oh my God.
And he didn't have an agreement on the lease. So whilst we put all this money in, the people who did own the freehold then decided to make the rent 4 times what it was supposed to be. And we all got around together, and I said I didn't do any due diligence because I just assumed that you had. And everyone just assumed that everybody else had. So it's a lot of smart people who did a very daft thing. So that was a mistake.
That must happen in business a lot, though, generally speaking.
No,
everybody turning to somebody else thinking it's their responsibility. I mean,
no,
that's quite a business lesson.
I think it's a fool and their money are very easily parted.
Yeah.
So I learned a lesson there that you do look into everything. So then the big win. Yeah. So I always thought this renewable energy thing would be big. So
you were a bit quick to it, weren't you?
Yeah, so Texas Panhandle, I mean, these Americans get away with blue murder in Texas. So they had cattle, then they had oil, then they had wind. And now they basically made it so that it's a great place to invest in terms of the technology. Okay. So likes of Austin. So we decided that we were going to land grab. So it's my money versus Shell.
Okay.
So there was only going to be one winner there. So we got about 1 million acres under contract, but it was $1 an acre. So every year we weren't putting up turbines. It was still costing us $1 million just to say that we had that land available. And then what I didn't realise was if you want to sue someone in America, so they basically cut me out of a deal just as the deal was being done, you have to, the records, there's no matter of public records. So if you want to find out where they actually are in terms of their finances, you have to go to a local judge. Now, the guys that we're working with, he married into a 3rd generation Texas landowner. His uncle was the local judge. Okay. His wife was a Texas cowboy cheerleader. He was a former fighter pilot, like Top Gun. And they just said, good luck. So I spent
God.
£500,000 to work out if I could sue them, and they basically said, just don't. So I think I got a cut out of, it would have made money. It was actually going great places. I remember there was a guy called T. Boone Pickens who basically made billions out of selling water rights. And he had his face on Time magazine outside one of my turbines saying it was his. I mean, rubbing salt into wounds. So I effectively found really, really bad ways to give people I didn't like my money, and kept getting married and buying people houses. So
Of all the things you've just mentioned, though, I don't think that the marriages were the most expensive part of your monetary loss.
all right. No, the wind farm was pretty special.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was right up there.
I just remember the cowboy shirts that you brought back, if I'm being honest. I don't remember anything else about it.
We were in Texas once, and we were celebrating the fact that the first turbine had gone in the ground. And we're all holding hands, and obviously it's in the Bible Belt, so they're saying, "Dear Lord, please make this work." And
Can you do a Texan accent?
No, I'm not going to go there. And they were just doing this little prayer. And I just said, please, Lord, it just fucking works. And I got a round of applause for it. And then we went for ribs, and I was wearing this sort of high fashion Italian army shirt.
Of course.
And this cowboy, it's like a sheriff, walked in. He came and tapped me on my back and said, "Thank you, sir, for your contribution for the war against terror." I went, "Oh, mate, it's a fashion thing." He goes, "Where did you get your one from? I quite like it." And he unclipped his gun. And I just thought, they don't get a sense of humour there. So the Lone State is, I'd advise everybody, don't go to Texas unless you go to Austin. It's the only place in the world. So Texans are random. Lone State for a reason. And rightly so, I don't really like Texas. So I think through all of that, I've learned some lessons. Stick to what you know.
Yes.
Don't invest in anything that you don't have hands-on control over. And make sure that you can make decisions within that business. It's not too complicated that you don't understand it. And keep your investments within a margin. It's quite hard earning money. It's really easy to piss it up.
Yeah.
So don't have any regrets, but go back to work and then work for it again. Hence Papa's still working.
Yeah. You must be enjoying it, though. This is...
what, now?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the best time in the world.
World's your oyster.
I'm having the best time. I'm working with great people. We're having great success. I'm meeting people because I like being around people. Hated lockdown. Didn't suit me at all well.
The yoga was good, though.
Oh, you did yoga lessons, so that was really, really cool.
We got you slightly more mobile.
It's really harsh. And we did cooking. And that
the cooking was good.
Everything came out brown, and I was so shit.
Yeah, you were banned from cooking, I think.
Yeah,
at some point. Yeah,
it wasn't good. How's that for an answer?
Yeah, no, I mean, it sucks that those are the experiences you've had of investment, but at the same time, they make good stories. So there has to be a silver lining, I guess.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Can I ask a follow-up question? Sorry, from behind the camera. How on earth did you end up in Texas putting turbines in the ground in the first place? Like, how does that happen? When you've done well in recruitment in central London, where there's quite a lot of money and quite a lot of opportunities, how did you end up in the Bible Belt saying a prayer for a turbine?
That's very true.
Right, the journey was long but fast. Somebody who once worked for me previously had got into an opportunity to do private consultancy work in the renewable space. I didn't realise that IKEA is actually family owned, and they were desperate to actually build a sustainable element to everything they do. So they were collecting rainwater to use to wash all their vans. They're trying to harvest wind power. They were trying to use solar in every one of their environments. So they were very fast movers on this. So we were advising them. And then the two business partners had a bit of a fallout because one looked at this opportunity, met somebody who was desperate to actually use the land in Texas. Texas is very windy. So we wanted to basically harvest that, and the other guy just wanted to do the consultancy thing. So we separated the business, and I could have gone either way. And I made a classic error. I went heads, should have gone tails. And that was about as much effort as I put into that decision. So I ended up now running a business in Texas that I knew absolutely nothing about. I was off my head during that period of time. I wouldn't have done it again. I would have taken the easy option. But I got very good at writing checks.
Yeah. That makes sense.
It's main sponsor time. So a massive shout out to Kingsbridge Insurance Group and specifically Elements. This truly unique and brilliant one place, one solution, staffing and compliance reliance tool is making a massive difference. It's a way to reduce your business op costs and fund some very questionable and random life choices. Our CEOs are all using it for a reason. You should too.
Commitment to business culture is something that you talk about a lot. It's one of the reasons people move jobs. It's one of the reasons that people are loyal to businesses. You've talked before about your opinions on remote working.
Shit.
Yeah. Okay. So I would like it if you would first explain why, please.
You've been very gentle with me. Personally, I can't do it.
Okay.
And I think I'm pretty much a self-starter. I can get up, I can work, I can graft, but not working around people, I think is actually soul destroying. You don't work as hard. You never learn from other people. You don't laugh.
Yeah.
And I just need, I think I work better when people smile and laugh.
Yeah.
I think we all work better when we're in an element of competition. And having that collective of people who are all working and striving towards a common goal, that commonality, is really, really brilliant. So working from home, I think, is actually really bad for the soul. And we're not that type of being. We're animals. We're basically used to being in herds and being around each other. So the idea of people working well independently, it just goes against the grain for me. Also, if you're trying to grow a business, how do you teach somebody that's new? So there's a total disconnect that if you get to a certain level of seniority, you have to be in the business because you're coaching and nurturing juniors. So it disincentivizes people to take that role of more seniority to get paid more because you have to go to work more.
Yeah.
But otherwise, the rookies have to come into work, the seniors have to come into work, and that middle tier of people just are dossing around and never actually attaining their full potential. So take it away from everybody, and I would prefer people who didn't want to come to work didn't join.
Right, okay. So you've had the RDLC for 8 years now? And obviously you have your business lunches and things.
Yeah.
But when was the last time that you personally worked in an office space with other people?
Yesterday.
No, I mean like full time, because generally speaking, you work remotely at least half the time. You're at least a hybrid worker. It's okay.
My job is different. So the nature of my business is I go into other people's businesses. I sit with them, help them in their business. I would be better if I worked in an environment.
Yeah.
But I'm on trains, planes, automobiles. I'm absolutely everywhere. So where would my office be?
Okay.
So effectively, I do work out of home house. I am around people. I could work from home, but I prefer to be at home house or a club, somewhere where there's other people around me. At least then I get someone to show off to and try to be good.
Well, I was going to say that, I mean, to the outside, you do seem like you're not working, you're not preaching you're not practicing what you preach, so to speak. But also you are interacting with people through LinkedIn, aren't you? So I suppose in that way, that's your way of maintaining that culture that you're trying to grow.
I'd love to be the mountain that Mohammed comes to and everyone comes to me.
Yeah.
But again, the gig doesn't work that way. But being around people, but when I work in businesses and they have all their staff in and they've made that de facto, they do better.
Yeah.
Just end of story. They just do better. And I think people we talk about mental health all the time these days, probably too much in my opinion, but the idea is that you bring people together and their mental health is so much better. And you can actually see Dave's not well today. He's stressed. I can do something about that. You don't really get that vibe when then Dave's at home watching Loose Women.
In what way do you think that talking about mental health has gone too far? Describe that to me.
So I just think that everyone is now so ultimately aware of it, they're using it as an excuse for not coming to work on a Monday. So, I don't really feel it, or do you know what? I think we've all had those feelings forever. It's just a natural, it's working in sales is stressful. Don't try and just say it. You've got to be able to deal with the stress to get the success. And you have to go through some hard times to realise what the good times are all about. It's not an excuse to say, "Oh, I'm so stressed, I'm not going to work very hard today." Or I just think it's gone beyond the pale where everybody likes just to pile on and say, "I'm really worried about my mental health." No, you're not, you're just having a bad run. It's not the same thing.
I don't know. I mean, as someone who's literally just finished a degree in psychology and cares so deeply about mental health and advocates for it so strongly, I struggle with hearing that, because I think that kind of sounds a little bit close to working to live instead of living to work.
Well, if we want to talk specifically about work-life balance, I think somebody who works really hard, gets success, goes through the bad times, increases their income, increases their security at home, has a better quality of life at home because they're not worried about work, they're not worried about paying the bills, they can actually afford to make better decisions for their family and have a more joyful experience at home. The person who isn't doing so well, that's when the stresses come at work, and whether they're working at home or not, it doesn't make a difference. It's getting to that level of success and getting through the downtime. So work-life balance for me starts by being successful at work, and you have a more balanced life at home. But being at home is just not the answer.
Yeah, okay, so you're connecting the worst mental health and focusing on mental health too much with the remote working. You think that they come hand in hand?
I do think they come hand in hand.
Okay. Well, I guess that is where the conversation is important to happen, because I would argue that there are lots of people, lots of successful people, investment bankers and accountants and people in those sectors who are in the office more than anybody else, whose mental health is the worst.
A huge thank you for all of the support from Corporate Peaks. Now, if you want to maximise how you incentivise, you have to phone these people. Business-related events, lunches, conferences and fun trips. From snow and black runs to tequilas and after sun, they just do it better.
Despite you thinking that we talk about mental health too much, though, we have created the Mental Health and Mindfulness Journal with the RDLC, haven't we?
Okay, so I thought that was actually a stroke of genius.
Yeah.
I journal. I like to keep track of where I am, what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I use that for myself. I don't use it as an excuse for, my performance might be a bit shit for 10 minutes. I'm not going to blame it on I can use it to manage my own drivers and make sure sometimes I read back and I look tired. It seems that I'm tired.
Yeah.
So I go and do something about it.
With the vocab that you're using and things.
Yeah. So,
well, that's good.
And then Emma would always notice if I'm just sounding a bit flat, and she'll just make sure she clears the day in my diary. So it's good to have that around.
So we are also in agreement with the sometimes having to take a breather for your mental health, which is good. That's all I wanted to hear from the conversation.
Yeah.
To
be fair, that's the most uncomfortable conversation I think I've had in any of these. So cheers, babes.
Cheers, babes, is what you said.
We can lighten the mood now, though, people, because it's time for Alphabet Soup.
Okay.
Alphabet Soup. Here we go.
Thought we were going to get a little limerick then.
Alphabet Soup. Right.
Do you spin it?
Yeah, you're the guest. Go on. Do you spin it?
It's me, D. Oh, look, it's D!
D!
Fantastic!
Just because we were talking off camera about how bad I am at driving, you've really done that to me. You're probably going to mug me.
I have to say, that's probably not even one of the best letters, but anyway.
Okay, well, we can go through some of the other letters as well.
Okay.
Right.
So, D. Driving licenses, more specifically.
Okay, no.
Gary's driving licenses, even more specifically.
Right, so I'm without doubt one of the world's worst drivers. I can find myself in the outside lane going 70, 30, 120, and I do forget where I am, I do forget what I'm doing, and I'm consistently a bad driver. And I have had to do multiple driving awareness courses, and I have lost my license once, and I managed to be on 17 points once and keep my license. So
how did you do that?
Well,
Isn't the maximum 12?
Oh yeah.
So how'd you go another 5 over? There's not even like a 5 offence, is there?
Yeah, no, it was. I think
You were a salesman.
They would call me the Ferrari man. It was ridiculous. I don't really agree with how they do totting up, and I don't really agree with some of the ways that magistrates run these. And I don't want to get myself in trouble, but the two people in front of me, one was an Uber driver who was responsible for his whole family and the major breadwinner for the family, and lost his license for 6 months. The second guy was 60 something, and he just said, if you take away my license, that's the last job I'm ever going to have. And my boss has already told me you won't re-employ me. Oh my God. Then I'm up, and I just was dead honest. I said, I'm driving on the M40 that goes out towards Ealing Golf Club. I did say, I was thinking about my drive off the first, not the drive to get here. Hey, tumbleweed. And then I said, you know that piece of road where it goes 20, 40, 30, 20, 20, 40, 20? And they're all nodding. I said, I made a mistake. I really wasn't concentrating. I'm 100% bang to rights. But I don't mind taking the punishment. However, my daughter's at boarding school, and you're punishing my daughter, not me, by taking my license away. So she lives in the middle of nowhere, and I was spending Wednesdays and Sundays with you just during those early couple of years, right?
I was a wreck.
You were a wreck. Anyway, so they're having a chat, and the clerk of the court is the person responsible for making sure the magistrates actually live within what they're supposed to be doing. And I can see that this lady was not happy. Anyway, they've just said, we're going to charge you £5,000. You can keep your license, but if you just so much as look at a zebra crossing, you're going to lose your license. So I was 18 months, and if I got 1 point, I was instantly banned. It was the worst 18 months of my life because I've never driven more slowly.
You had to actually drive within the limits.
It was absolute torment. But how is that right? So what did it affect me versus what it actually affected people with their livelihoods and the mental health? So I just think that whole principle is wrong. But I've got to say, I'm a significantly better driver these days because I actually do think about it, and my car shouts at me.
Yes.
So I've got a car now. It just physically just shouts at me if I'm wrong.
No more dancing with your knees doing the steering.
No, don't. All right, actually, they will arrest me. So, what other letters did you write? Because you didn't like the fact that I'd actually seen all the prep here, so you did your own prep.
Yeah, I can't have him too comfortable in the
no, apparently
interviewing seat. I did. That one's shit. I did B. That was pretty good. E's my favourite.
Okay, let's go for E.
Okay. I was wondering if you would like to tell the lovely listeners about when we went to Paris and climbed the Eiffel Tower.
Are you seriously doing that?
Seriously.
So we went to Paris for the day with Evil Stepmother, and we were having a great day going around.
I'm not condoning that. I need my name to not be on that, please.
With the lovely Julianne, and we've had a great day. We're travelling around Eurostar. We've been down the Seine. We've seen Notre Dame, and then we've gone up the Eiffel Tower. No, I didn't realise that.
Great tour.
It was a great tour. Oh yeah, and then we spent some serious money because we went underneath it as well, and we just saw where the Germans turned it into one of their radio beacons. So it was a brilliant tour. No toilet. So now I'm absolutely desperate for
at the top,
and it's so. And they were insisting on showing us every rivet of this thing. It's like, all right, seriously, I've had enough of the tour. I need to go for a wee. And they just wouldn't. And then it was a queue to get all the way down. And by the time we've got down, I'm sweating cobs here because this is really touch and go. And I've just run for the toilet. You dick. And I haven't quite made it. And it's just, I've pissed myself. And I've walked out. I didn't realise, but you and Julianne could see me washing my hands, rearranging my bag and coming out. And what was the classic word I said?
I'm in a bit of bother.
Yeah, so we had to go out and try and get me some new trousers and start the day again.
Yeah, Parisian trousers.
Yeah, it's good times. So yes, I have pissed myself in the Eiffel. Thank you for that, by the way. That's really kind. Yeah, brilliant.
It was a great day for us.
What else have you got?
Well, this one I have down as microwave, but it might be better to put it down as mashed potato because I think that's what went into the microwave.
So I took you camping in our back garden. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And I bought
believe me, imprinted on my mind.
I bought a 12-man tent just for the pair of us, so we could sleep and have the TV out there. Took a whole day to put this tent up.
We weren't very good with it, were we?
Yeah. No, do you remember that when we left, we just left the tent up and we came back and it had gone.
Oh yeah,
it was blown away.
Horror.
Yeah.
It was probably in a field somewhere.
So I just thought, I'm going to put in a jacket potato in the microwave, and I think I misread 5
Sorry,
minutes.
did your tent have a microwave as well?
no.
So it's a tent
No,
with a
no.
TV.
No.
Okay, just double check.
Yeah. So we're
You went back into the
I
house.
went back into the house, and I misread 5 minutes for 50 minutes. And,
50, just for clarity.
Oh yeah.
50. Okay, sure.
Yeah. So it set fire.
A man who's once owned a restaurant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just double check. Okay.
So
Guinea fowl and chocolate sauce. Though,
yeah.
So.
So the jacket potato's gone up, the microwave's gone up, and all I could do was think, oh my god, young daughter. So I just lifted it up and just threw it in the back garden. And
While it's on fire.
While it's on fire. Yeah, that was another pizza experience, wasn't it? Or, delivery. Yeah. So
there was definitely a takeaway that night.
God, you're being really mean.
Got any
That's
more?
one
Have
of my favourites.
Have you got one more alphabet soup for us?
Let's do Blackpool Pleasure Beach.
Oh, BP, classic.
There's at least 5 stories within this one, so you can choose which narrative.
Okay. So the meanest one. So one of my bad parenting exercises. We because there were so many decisions that were made for you when you were a youngster. Your mum and I decided the one thing you could always do is choose your clothes when you came home from school or at weekends. And you did have this whole thing about being a Disney princess. So quite often we'd take you to the Trafford Centre in freezing snow, and you'd be dressed up as Princess Fiona or something.
Yes, Princess Fiona. I have bathed in
and
that,
yeah, you were
dress.
bright blue, and everyone just thought I was being a bad dad because I'm wearing a puffer jacket, and you definitely weren't. So then Blackpool Pleasure Beach, and we just running around, just the pair of us, and I don't know why I thought it was funny, but why don't we just run through the water?
The things that shoot up out of the ground.
And without you having any spare clothes or there being any shops there, and you were absolutely wringing, it was so cold. And then we just had to go home and just sit in you were freezing. I mean, you were really all but tearfully cold. And all I could do was pretty much strip you naked, sit you in the car and just turn the heaters on and just try to warm you up before I could even think of telling your mum just what an absolute fuck up I've made again. So, yeah.
I was thinking.
I think we should stop this because
we'll
I'm losing
move
all
on.
credibility.
No. Do you know what? I don't remember it.
Driving
the way
license,
that you do,
pissing myself. Can't send flyers to the house, and now trying to kill you with hypothermia.
Well, I was thinking that when we were at the Pleasure Beach, we went on the Pepsi Max. That's my memory of us there, going on the Pepsi Max and managing to convince the person that was manning the ride that I was tall enough and that it would be fine and that he would hold on to me in the seat. Just for him to be looking at me all the way around, thinking he was going to lose me out the top.
I literally thought I killed her. I've never been more scared in my life, thinking, why did I think this was going to be funny?
We thought that the height thing wouldn't matter, didn't we?
You were absolutely just scared out of your wits and just literally got off and ran straight to mum and told her.
Character building.
Yeah. That wasn't good. We need to stop this right now.
That was enough.
Oh my God. Huge thank you to RDLC for chipping in and supporting me on this private adventure. It is the only place to be. There are other recruitment networks, but frankly, they're shit. Always work with the RDLC. It's a better place to be. Hang out with 300 recruitment CEOs. It's the board you can't afford. Peace. Quick fire round. It's good sound effects, right?
Yeah, I like them. I feel like I'm in The Little Mermaid with this one.
So do you know how to set this up?
Do I know how to what?
Do you know how to set this one up?
No.
Okay, so the idea is it's like a desert island prison, although I've shoehorned a few questions in here.
Some of these are quite rogue for a desert island, yeah.
Yeah, exactly that. So the idea is I can have one of each of those.
Okay.
So you lead me through them.
Okay, so if you were on a desert island in the prison.
Don't worry about that. It's just so I can have the sound effect.
That's fine.
Okay.
Wait, where would the desert island be, actually? Where would you want it to be?
In the Caribbean, so I can have a boat, and if I decide to get up and rent the boat out one day, because that's always been my dream. That's where I'd retire to the...
To have another boat?
Okay, it was that, yeah.
No.
Don't do that, no. Okay.
Okay. What would your wish be?
Spend
One wish.
to have had more time with mum and dad.
Ah, that's a nice
I'm just recently I've been waking up thinking I need to find mum. Isn't that
Oh,
random?
really?
Isn't
we
that
should
random?
Go, do you know what?
We should go to a grove. Yeah, let's do
go
that.
and see her.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, prediction. As in prediction for the future.
No, I'm going to be really random.
Okay.
I don't think the Labour government's going to get in next time.
Okay.
I think.
reason?
I just think when push comes to shove, I don't think anyone's going to vote them in.
Okay.
Given your royal status, is this not like a political view you're not allowed to have?
Oh, yeah.
Because you're like 17th in line for the throne, aren't you? That's what you've told me anyway over lunch a few times.
It's definitely
Yeah,
not that close.
to be
It's
fair,
definitely not that close.
Keats have already thrown me out. So
Exactly, you can say whatever,
I
fine.
know how Nigel Farage feels because it happened to me a long time ago. Yeah.
This won't be the most controversial thing you've said either.
No.
Okay. If you were on the island, you were reminiscing on your life, what would be the best moment you've had?
It's quite funny as well because when we had you through cesarean and the forceps, you came out blue with a pointy head, and I thought your mum been shagging an alien, and I just thought that'd be really funny to say. Look, it was so lovely that they put you straight in my hands, but you did look really random.
Oh my God.
And your mum was saying, "Is everything all right?" I said, I can't take you seriously. You got a mixed griddle on your chest because
Oh my
they put all of our
God.
organs out.
Oh.
I thought I was being really funny, but apparently it was the wrong timing.
Your best moment, her worst.
Yeah, but it was just holding you within just like 2 seconds of you coming out. And the guy who was doing it, who was a brilliant surgeon, was basically with your mum's camera taking pictures. It was all action. So yeah, that was really good fun. Yeah, that was brilliant.
Cute. Mum has said before that she remembers quite distinctly that she was trying to have a nice, peaceful birth while you two were just cracking jokes right next to her, like, hello, somebody sew me back up. That would have been
funny.
good.
Yeah, you should have been there.
Yeah, should have been there. If you could have yet another tattoo, what would it be?
The one of you was my first one, and it's a bit faded.
Okay.
I think I've lost weight and gained weight and lost weight and gained weight too much. The tattoo hasn't really kept up. So I think I might get another one with Stinkerbell. So Tallulah, Lulabelle, Tinkerbell, Stinkerbell, Stink.
Okay.
So I might have Stink on me.
Oh, that's really cute. I have to say, Stink is my favourite of the nicknames, but it should come with what you've just done, because
So
otherwise
explain
people
that away.
think it's the most bizarre nickname ever. When my boyfriend heard it for the first time, he was like, does your dad really call you Stink? That doesn't seem very endearing, does it?
It does make sense. But it's better because you actually worded me once, because it used to be Fat Bum,
Fat bum, yeah.
because your mum putting you in those corduroy skirts when you had big nappy. It wasn't a look.
Not a look, no.
It wasn't a look.
That's why I wanted to dress myself.
Yeah,
so,
exactly
yeah.
that.
Okay, if you could have a do-over, what would it be?
So there's two things. One, I wish, and I would urge everyone to do this, save 50% of any commission you ever get. Just put it away.
Not put it into a hotel.
No. And the second one is don't think you're indestructible. So just save for a rainy day. Spend and God will send is tattooed on my back. And yeah, I always believe that I can make money. So I've never ever thought to save it, but it would have been easier. Boring, that one, isn't it?
No, I don't think so. It's good that you can admit that at least one of your tattoos isn't completely fail-safe.
Nouveau riche.
Yeah, I like that one. Okay, guilty pleasure. I know what your answer should be to this, but...
Well, I'm going to say Wham.
Okay, interesting. I was going to say watching Pitch Perfect, because I think that's a pretty guilty pleasure.
I don't for it. I love Pit.
Which one's your favourite?
I can't split.
You can't split
No,
them?
I like the second one because he goes, "That's my girlfriend on stage." Caw-caw! And there's still quite a lot of my mates who go, "Caw-caw!"
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they have no idea where it's come from, but it's from Pitch Perfect.
You've taught them that.
Yeah, if the world's a bit shit, I have to watch Pitch Perfect, and I get in a better mood. Fucking hell, that is random, isn't it?
Everybody needs one of those movies. Everybody needs one.
Isn't it bad?
Okay. sporting victory to be had. Is that what you wish? Or
Yeah, so I tell everyone that it's like maybe it's 1966, but it's not. That's not true.
Oh, okay.
I should have been men's singles champion.
Okay.
Yeah, but not too many times, maybe 4 or 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just enough.
Nothing crazy.
And I didn't want to win any of the other ones, just Wimbledon.
Just Wimbledon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'd have been pretty good at that. I would
You're a
have
Wimbledon
been
tomorrow.
a pretty good. I am. Yeah. They might get a game. I might have been a decent. I'm a really, really, really bad loser. But I'm an even
shit.
worse winner.
Oh yes, I agree with that. Yeah.
So loser. Woo! Yeah, I couldn't
You
imagine.
couldn't do that at Wimbledon, could you?
No,
oh my God, that
I'd be
wouldn't
all
go
over
down
them.
well.
Yes,
That wouldn't go down
imagine
well.
Kate give me the trophy as well. Smash it up.
Iconic.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, you're much better at tennis than I am. That's for sure.
You're better at running than I am.
Maybe. Person you wish you could have or would love to meet.
Winston Churchill, no doubt. I just love the fact that I can't remember the name of the French premier during the time of the Second World War, but he basically stopped the train 100 yards and always made him walk the rest to him. And he also made the phone call to the French premier at the time and said, "You're about to be taken over by the Germans, you have to sink your fleet." And he refused. And he said, "We're about to bomb your fleet."
Oh, wow.
So they had 20-minute warning to get all of their navy off before we sank all their ships.
God.
Love it.
That's crazy.
Oh, Winston Churchill saved the country twice.
He was he Labour or Lib Dem first?
Do you know? Do you know?
No, I can't remember. I'm asking you. But he was definitely one of them. He wasn't always a Tory.
No, I think they created a coalition so he could get into power for the second time. So I don't think he ever changed. So he was a Tory, but I don't think he ever changed.
Okay. I think we need to look at those facts afterwards.
Okay, well, don't let the truth get in the way of
Good,
good stuff.
good story. Okay, food for the rest of your life.
Curry, without a doubt.
Which one?
I still go vindaloo, but I shouldn't.
No.
It doesn't really agree with me anymore.
Nobody needs to know that story.
Okay.
Phone call that you wish you could have. Is that what that means? Or no, that's the who would you call if you had good news? Yeah.
No, so if I had one phone call left in the world.
Oh God, that's really ominous. That's so depressing.
It's quite deep, isn't it?
Yeah. God, Dad.
What?
You've been hitting everyone with that question.
Yeah.
It makes them also pick their favourite child as well. You can ask
I've
him
heard
in a
that
minute.
before. Yeah, he wanted me to say which one was your favourite wife, and I said I've got stakes in that question. I can't ask that one.
Yeah, I don't know the favourite one, but I can tell you which is the worst.
Well, I have an opinion.
prepped.
I have an opinion on who I think was the worst too, but I'm not sure if we have the same one.
Yeah, Julia. Yes, but don't mention her name. We'll get away with it. I'd phone.
She knows. She knows which camera is to the.
That's your close up.
Yeah.
She knows.
Right. That's really mean. I'd phone you.
You'd phone me.
Yeah.
Okay. Just for a random.
Just for a row.
Random.
Just for a row.
Just for a row, yeah. Often, well, actually, every single time he calls me, he doesn't even say hi. He just, well, I've been up for this many hours, and I've just done this, and I've got this going on now. What are you up to?
Saying hello and goodbye, just boring.
There's
no time.
No,
for that.
how are you? No, hello, nothing.
Crack on, but you already know I'm a bad
Okay.
father.
I love your random phone calls, though.
Good.
What book would you read forever? Or listen to? What book would you listen to? Because you're an audio
Do you know what,
person, aren't you?
I'm really fickle with books, but I've just read Jimmy Carr's.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember what it's called. It's his latest book, where he just talks about life and business and his story, and I think it's a work of genius. I think if anyone's on holiday and they want a book to listen to, 100% recommend it. I've listened to it twice now. Oh, the A to Z.
Seagull one.
The A to Z.
Oh, that one's good, isn't it?
Of being a mentalist.
You should try and get her on here, actually.
That's a fantastic book.
Yeah.
That's an absolute game changer. So I love that as well.
Yeah, she is very interesting.
What's her name?
Oh my God, Natasha, maybe something.
Yeah, it was
Can't
really
remember
good.
now.
It was A to Z of being
of being mental. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, that's what you'd read, not the Seagull one. What was that called?
Jonathan Livingston Seagull.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's a really
I like
good
that one.
Yeah.
Everybody should listen to that one
Yeah.
as well.
Not The Secret. I don't believe in that.
You don't believe in The Secret?
That's bullshit. Of course it is.
Well, mine would have been Watership Down, but that's really, really depressing. So. No one wants to listen.
No one wants to listen to that.
Okay.
Time for a bit of advice to your younger self as we reminisce.
Okay.
Turn back the time. Advice to your 18-year-old self.
Okay, I'm going to ask you this one as well, because only a few years ago.
Okay.
I think I would have tried to stay fitter. Because I just didn't really care about anything. And I think once you kind of lose fitness, it's really hard to get it back to where you were. But if you just keep trying to be active, try and do steps, just keeping an eye on it, I think you'll live longer and live happier. Because actually trying to lose weight as I am now, 2 times 600 calories a day, I've only been working with David, I think it's 2 weeks, and we've already had 3 rows. So I don't know whether I'm hangry or he doesn't realise he's wrong. So either way, we keep having moments about it. So,
I think it's quite nice you've only had 3 arguments,
yes.
if I'm honest. Well done.
I do burn through creatives. So yeah, what advice would you give yourself?
Well, I thought that I knew this, but I don't think I've ever really listened to myself when I've said it. But life is what happens when you're busy making other plans. I literally need to drill that into myself every single day, because 18-year-old me would have had no idea what university was going to be like, that we were going to go into lockdown and have the pandemic, that I wasn't going to sit my A-levels, that I was going to have no idea what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. I think I was way too caught up in thinking that I had control over everything, and I didn't.
So we're going to digress, if I may.
Yeah. Oh no, are you taking over as interviewer again?
No, I really want to ask a question.
Okay.
I hope I saw it firsthand, what it was like going to uni during this lockdown era. For employers looking at that generation, you didn't have the same experience.
No.
You didn't have, you weren't at uni just literally having fun. You had to work really hard. You had to learn how to learn in a different environment.
Yeah.
Everybody was putting what should have been a 20-minute lecture into a 2-hour lecture and putting it on video, so you didn't know which bits to actually learn and which not to learn.
Yeah.
They covered everything. What is there any advice that you give to an employer now to see this generation of grads coming through?
Advice on when interviewing them, or when actually having them as their workforce?
Yeah, because I think you lot are really resilient.
Yeah.
And have they come away with great set of results? And does a good set of results actually mean something more important now? Because you've had to just work through this.
I think I'd start by saying it was quite interesting. A few weeks ago, you had one of the lunches, and a few of the people there were saying about employing people my age in their early 20s, and about how they don't really want to work that hard to find success, and they just want gratification after gratification. I would really want to quash that assumption. I do not think that people who have just the years before me, and actually still now the year below me, and possibly the year below them, being affected by COVID, whether it be at school or at university, I don't think that we are that way. I think that we actually assume the worst might happen and just are happy for any opportunity that we're given to show that we do have the set of skills that we want people to listen to, that we have and that we're working on. I think that somebody's grades can only tell you too much, and that's coming from someone who's always really cared about academic gratification and people being impressed with the accolades that I can achieve. There's so many things you can't get out of somebody in an exam or through an essay. Yeah, definitely. Just listen to what they have to say. Really try and let them get in front of you in an interview.
Are you struggling to get work? Are all your friends struggling to get jobs?
The only person I know that hasn't struggled to get a job is my friend who did accounting and finance. And it's pretty simple, that pathway, that journey of getting into the trainee accountant job. Not that she didn't, she's worked harder than so many people I've met, actually at university, but in terms of getting a job offer, people are desperate to get accountants into training programs. She's the only person I know who has a permanent position waiting for her.
So everybody, if they wanted to, from uni, could get a job in recruitment tomorrow. Isn't that random?
But this is the thing that we were talking about the other week. It's almost like a secret. Jonathan was. It's almost like a secret.
Oh, Jeds, that's the Marylebone lie detector.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Someone just told a fib. If you heard the beep in the background, that is the Marylebone lie detector.
It's almost a secret language. No one knows.
About this amazing sector.
No one knows what recruitment is. It's like a buzzword. It's like when people see search engine optimization or something like that. We don't know what it means. But my friends say,
don't say that, you're going to get a job in marketing. Don't say that.
Okay, no, I now have learned what SEO means.
Brilliant.
Because of the freelance work I've done. But I mean, generally speaking, recruitment is like this
a dark art.
Unknown source. And yeah, nobody knows what it is.
But the nice thing is you've actually been involved in lunches and you've met people and done work for people.
I'm really glad that I've done
It's a sector
that.
of brilliant people.
Yeah,
Smart,
100%.
So smart.
100%. It's really, it's such an eclectic bunch. And I really enjoy the lunches. I really do, especially the one that was about mental health. I think that everybody was so much more engaged in that than I realised that they would be. I couldn't have anticipated the way that people had questions to ask and wanted to listen as well. But yeah, I don't know. I think recruitment is amazing to the people that know of it. But until you've dipped your toe in that pool,
you don't fancy it.
Nobody talks about it. Nobody talks about it at school. It's never something that, when you do your careers.
Yeah, I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a footballer. I want to be a recruitment consultant.
You fill in your, I don't know what it is, some kind of exam, and it tells you what kind of career you would be good for. Recruitment doesn't come up on anything.
Did you do that? Did you do that?
Yeah, I can't remember what I got. I think I got helping people once, which I'm not that surprised by, but yeah.
Very cool. A massive thank you and shout out to Target Recruits, the #1 Salesforce-based recruitment-centric CRM. Now, they are the ultimate single moment of truth for aspirational business leaders in recruitment. If you're not aspirational, I wouldn't bother.
That's quite stressful, that one. I don't like that one as much. I like the peaceful ones.
So you didn't like my emergency questions because, be prepared for them?
No, I do like them. I just think that you're such you're bored by everything so quickly that you've asked those questions to all of these people. You don't want to answer them yourself, because I bet every time you have someone sat there,
I know a better answer.
You're thinking, yeah, well, he practiced them on me first, me and my poor boyfriend, who is not very punchy and in your face like you are, in the best of ways. And he said, your answers are shit. I can't use these questions. And we were like, right, okay. And it might be something to do with the questions. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's probably.
Charming.
Well, let's see what you got then, girl.
Okay, so you wake up starving in the middle of the night. When does that happen? A lot, for me anyway.
Yeah.
What are you eating?
Apples.
Apples.
I'm about 8 or 9 apples a day at the moment.
Okay, not at the moment on your health.
No. I take 2 apples to bed. That's really random.
That's really weird. That's really weird. Do you see how lazy he is? He's bringing them to his bedroom. He's not even going upstairs for them.
I don't need the steps. No, yeah. So I take
really
2
weird.
litres of water and 2 apples to bed. Oh, don't.
Green or red?
Green. No, red. This time of year,
You go
red.
up to sleep or have a fucking picnic. 2 glasses of water, 2 apples.
So 2 litres of water.
2 litres of water?
Yeah.
How many times do you get up in the night? I'm getting to the age now where you can't go through a night.
No, I'm 58, so it's don't need the wee, don't need the wee, don't need the wee, don't need the wee, don't need the wee. Too late.
Tower.
Too late. Eiffel Tower.
Your hands are as clammy as mine.
Yeah. Go on, next.
Okay.
These are
this
good.
is also food related.
These are good.
Do you want to keep them?
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
What one, do not say apples. I swear to God, don't say apples. What one food item must always be in your fridge?
Cheese. Better
I knew
than that.
it would be cheese.
It's better than that. So, they got the black bomber cheese.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
I can't live without the black bomber.
And those mini cathedrals, individual
No,
packets.
I'm over.
You're over them?
Cathedral City has changed its formula. It's shit.
Oh,
Black
dear.
bomber. Only way forward. So the extra ones.
Okay.
Borderline. Move on quick.
If you could swap style with one person, who would you choose?
Harry Styles.
How did you have such a quick answer for that? I'm really impressed.
Because I was looking at all that Gucci shit he's wearing, and literally the guy's pulling it off.
Okay.
I'd have to shed some timber, but I just think he's absolutely doing it. I'll tell you who also looks cool, and he bought the same glasses as me.
You had to get that in there,
Matt Goss. Matt Goss always looks the Don.
I don't think I know who that is.
It's an age thing.
Ross, when will I be famous?
Okay. And you have the same glasses.
Yeah.
Nice.
But he's impeccably dressed all the time.
Good choices. What
Could you
song?
imagine me dressed as Harry Styles on
That
stage?
would be mental. We should go and see Harry
For the
Styles.
finale episode, can we dress you as Harry Styles?
Yeah. let's do
Oh
it.
my God, yes.
We're going to Gucci.
Yes, do it.
Right.
What song would you choose as the soundtrack to your life?
Robbie Williams, Let Me Entertain You.
Okay, that's a good one.
It's good because I always thought about that when I was going to get cremated or buried or whatever you can be bothered to do.
Wait, what do you actually want? That's a serious question. Do you want cremation?
Probably.
He wants to be shoved into one of them fireworks.
You want to be a firework? His ringtone was firework by Katy Perry once. It was a really embarrassing period of time.
Yeah, it wasn't one of my best. Do you know what? So cremate me, have me a piece of jewellery, a firework, and then just shut the rest out.
There's these 3 brothers who were actors. I can't remember what their names are now. And their dad died. And one of the brothers got these necklaces that's like a time.
Egg timer.
Egg timer.
Yeah.
Basically necklaces with that on so that they could put some of their dad's ashes in them. And one of them woke up in the middle of the night, like with grit in his mouth, thinking, oh my God, what's in my mouth? Got up and looked in the mirror, saw himself covered in his dad's ashes because the thing had broken in his sleep.
Oh, that is not good.
How awful is that?
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, get one of them.
Okay, I'll get one of them. I won't sleep in it though. Who would play you in a movie about your life? Oh my God, have I stumped you?
Yeah, I don't know.
Have you got the countdown music?
Do you know who I really like?
Don't say Matt Goss.
No. I tell you who I loved as an actor. David Niven.
I know who. I think I know who you mean.
Actually, no. He's too. Jude Law.
You'd want Jude Law to play you?
Yeah, because I think he's got that. So he's got a bit of swag. He's lost his hair.
Yeah.
And he's totally British. I'll take a bit of Jude Law.
Interesting.
Literally, was that the most patronising? Interesting.
I was picturing Jude Law in The Holiday, and I was thinking,
maybe not. No.
maybe not.
Okay.
He's had a bad decade since then.
Yeah.
He's much more Jude Law-esque now.
Okay, that's all right then.
Hold it on.
Yeah, well, you have been told you look a bit like Richard Attenborough before, haven't you?
So did I say?
Oh, I can see this.
No. Jeremy Clarkson was at Wimbledon yesterday, and he made a point of coming over to me and went, "Oh, look, it's an ugly Richard Attenborough."
Oh my God!
How is that?
You need to tell the Father Christmas story.
Which one?
Why didn't you reply to my letter?
What one?
Do you not remember?
No.
This man came up to me at a lunch or some kind of party once and said, "Oh my God, I haven't seen you in ages. Why did you never reply to my letter?" And Dad was like, "What letter? I don't understand what you're talking about. What letter?" "You know, the letter. It started, 'Dear Father Christmas.'" And he shaved his beard after that. It was a bit long, wasn't it?
It was long. All right.
Bit Santa-esque.
Move on.
Okay, well, we've already had the book one, so the last thing is a bit like your mantra question. What advice do you live by?
Be owed a favour, not a fiver. So,
You should have that as a tattoo.
Yeah, so just as long as you're doing good by other people, occasionally you can call in a favour. Hence why everyone's coming to do my wonderful podcast, and I can get you on the train. Brilliant. Well done. Good questions. I'm loving a bit of that.
Good.
Right, is it guest time? Because I want to do because I'm so excited about my 2 truths and a lie.
2 truths and a lie. Guess choice.
Right. Now, if you can't get the right one, I have to send 250 quid to a charity of your choice.
Okay, wait.
Yeah, no.
I don't understand.
Well, I'm not going to make you pay, am I? I was known as Whiplash after my first solo flying of an airplane for doing very lumpy touch and goes at White Waltham Airfield.
Okay.
I once mixed and dropped a tune at the Terrace in Space for the Swedish House Mafia. Dolce & Gabbana sent RDLC a message on LinkedIn saying, keep using their D&G image as long as we don't ever launch a daywear range.
Well, I know the first one is the truth.
It is true, yeah.
So now I need to work out.
Do you see the way I've actually managed that I used to fly planes? Just throw that
He
out
just
there.
wants to get that in there.
Yeah. So
Trying to decide whether or not you would talk about it more if you'd done the second one. I feel like everyone would know. I don't really know, because you've never mentioned that to me before, and that seems like the kind of thing that you would make
Mention
sure
a lot.
everyone knew. So I feel like that one's got to be the lie.
So what are you saying is the lie?
Dropping a tune in Ibiza.
What was the tune?
Oh, I don't know.
I think that one's the lie. Swedish House Mafia, I'm sure you would have mentioned it more.
No, it's true.
That one's true?
Yeah.
Shut up. Really?
No way! And you can't even remember what the song was?
No, so one of my mates just told me that they're playing, do I want to go and meet them? So I went behind, and so I said, lads, hey, you doing all right here, mate? Can I drop a tune in? They went, no, we've been paid a fortune to do that. I went, oh, come on.
I'll do it for free.
Come on, let's do it. And he goes, all right. So when I say, pretend to press that button, and then just chuck your hands in the air. Right, and he goes, ready? 3, 2, 1, press the button. Oh, it went off. It went off. It literally, that whole of space just went off. And it was one of the best moments of my life. And I've never mentioned it, have I?
That's mental.
Oh, yeah, brilliant. I should show you the outfit I wore that day as well, because I would look stupid.
He was dressed as Harry Styles. It was the best day ever.
It was.
I think you look like Jude Law dressed as Harry Styles.
It was random. We did get a letter from Dolce & Gabbana to say stop using their D&G logo, by the way.
Oh, did you? Oh,
Dean
my
and
God.
Gary. Dean and Gary. I thought it was brilliant. So we used their exact logo.
And they said stop?
Yeah.
But not on LinkedIn?
No, they sent a message to
An
LinkedIn.
email?
Yeah.
Oh, no, a message.
Yeah. Cease and desist.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Always good fun. Brilliant.
Wait, so you tricked me. They were all true.
No,
To a point.
they didn't say carry on.
Oh, they didn't
use it.
say
They
carry
said don't
on.
do it.
They said don't do it.
Yeah.
Did you stop?
Kind of. Yeah.
I'm not sure I'm convinced by that.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't lie to you. Lie to everyone else.
Okay.
I would lie to you.
You would lie to
I would
me.
lie to you. Lula, you've been an absolute delight. It's you are the only one who can put me in such awkward situations and ask me. I don't care about mental health. So you are the
He
only
does, he
person who
does.
can actually get me in that position. You're an absolute darling for coming in down and doing this, and then heading back up to Manchester again today.
Mm-hmm.
I love you with all my heart. Thank you very much for that poem. That was beautiful. And I think you do have a career. You are certainly better at doing this than we are. It is always with our joy that we'll ask our guests to always have the famous last words. So
Okay.
what would you like to say as you sign off?
I wish I'd had preparation for that, Dad. I feel like that could have been something I was told I was going to do before. I don't have anything to say other
Good.
than I'm excited to see who the guests are for season 2. And I'm excited to see the release of season 1 because I think this is going to be spectacular.
Thank you, darling. James E, thank you as always. We'll see you. Well, I don't know which camera to speak to. I mean, sitting on the wrong side.
Sorry.
We'll see you and the episode come really soon. Thank you very much for watching. Eiffel Tower!
I should get an Eiffel Tower tattoo.